So we reviewed and we watched Argo on home video on Blu-ray, which is a pretty good picture on Blu-ray. The remaster was fine. I've seen even better remasters of the film, but of other films I meant to say, but it looked pretty good. Anyways, Argo was the film that won the Oscars for Best Picture and other awards as well. And I was just wondering, like, how choices are made. And like Woody Allen once said, he said that usually it's a favorite film of the year that wins, not necessarily the best film. There's so many best films. I'm sure Ben Affleck would agree that there were many films that year, 2012, that deserved acknowledgement, and Argo is one of them, definitely. What I found really interesting was the period, because I remember that period, 79-80, when the event happened, when the situation got out of hand, and Joe Clark was Prime Minister in Canada, and at the time it was, oh God, now I'm brain freeze here. Who was the president? I wrote it down. Carter. Yeah, Carter. And I remember at the time my father had it all mixed up. He thought Carter was the actor and Reagan was the peanut tycoon. Actually, it was Reagan was the actor, but at the time I wouldn't have known that Reagan was an actor, and I believed that Carter was an actor when he told me. I found out the truth later on in life. But anyways, a little trivia there for me. One other thing I really loved about the film was I really liked Ben Affleck's character. He was playing Tony Mendez. I really enjoyed noticing that there were very little differences. The actors were really well chosen for the real people that they were portraying. Extremely well done. I thought that was wow. That was a good choice they made. Watching Argo reminded me of a period, so that was really exciting for me, and also to see that times have not changed that much, unfortunately. Tensions within cultures and countries, and how we still have issues between countries and values. So that was interesting to watch, and I really liked the way that Ben Affleck made the film. It wasn't overly done and too loud. A lot of times sound is a really important aspect of film, and Argo was not a loud film. It was it created sounds that we needed for the moment, for the drama, and not beyond that, which I really appreciated. And also I found the photography was great. The period was well executed, that period of 79-80, very well done on film, very well costumed, and it was exciting. The other thing I also liked on the home video, on the Blu-ray, there's a documentary, a lot of documentaries. One of them is specifically focuses on what the tensions that were going on when Canada was hiding the fact that they were helping the Americans, the ones that were kidnapped, because there's a kidnapping. I don't want to give away plot lines. I'm just to let you know, with reviews, I don't want to give away plot lines. I just want to give you an impression, because I would like you to see it and enjoy it on your own terms. But you probably do know already that it was about the kidnapping. There were six members or five that were kidnapped, and there was a lot. The documentary shows all the events that happened, and the people that were interviewed after the events that happened. Like the Prime Minister of Canada was interviewed, and other people as well. A lot of Canadians who were involved in this. And I think that the reason why it was a favorite and why it was given an Oscar was because of the choices that Ben Affleck made, how to show it. It wasn't overly done with exaggerated melodrama, violence, or which we see in a lot of films. I find a lot of new films and the new attitude even on TV is melodrama, and that's not the case with this film. One thing I can share, I had met Ben Affleck just as a customer. He was making the Sum of All Fears many years ago in Montreal, here in Montreal, where I'm based. And he came into a store, electronics store where I was working. I think I can mention it, Future Shop. And it was a Monday. Mondays were generally very slow, but I used to make good money on a Monday because my attitude is always very positive. Just, make the best of the customers that do come in. And he came in, and he's very imposing, tall. Even if he wasn't an actor, he has that imposing, charisma. And everybody just stopped. Literally, this is what happened. There were three salesmen that were on the, I'd say from my perspective, on the right side of the store, where Ben Affleck was in the middle left, and they were just staring at him because they were in awe. And the girls at the cash were in awe, and they were in the same side of the store, but a little further towards where I was standing in the middle. And they were all in awe, and they just stood watching him because it was quiet. He was the only other customer on that floor looking at TVs. And I just walked towards him very casually, I'm very hey, so you're here for business or pleasure? That's my attitude. And they're just watching me walking towards him. It's just one body's moving towards Ben Affleck, who's sort of this tall guy, kind of looking down at the TVs, trying to figure out what he's going to purchase for the time he's going to be here filming in Montreal for the Sum of All Fears. He was in old Montreal, staying there on St. Pierre Street. I remember all those details because we delivered to him. But anyways, I got some of the TV. Other people sold him computers. And I did not take advantage of the fact that, of course, he was to me, he was a major star then. I think he's even more now, and he's an artist as well in other areas like film. And at the time, he hadn't made a film. But I sold him I said to him, look, the sound system you're going to buy is going to be just a simple one. It'll give you the sound you need. You're only going to use it for a while. So I wasn't looking at making a big commission. I just looking at serving him as any other customer and giving him the best price. That's just the way I am. So that was really interesting for me to have met him then. And I loved his speech at the Oscars. It was a great speech. To just, when you're hitting a wall, to keep going, and this is what I'm doing. Started a production company. It's independent, no money involved, but I do the same thing. When I hit a wall, I just keep going. When you think that you're not going to get anywhere, you just keep trying. And I love that he said that. And I got so much benefit from watching him win the Oscar, and what he was saying, and the excitement that he exuded in his speech. And sometimes, for me, the best thing about the Oscars is when the artists go up and accept the award, and what they say is really important. It impacts me because I just love this. I love this industry. I'm not in it, as I am in it in my own way. I mean, I'm creating a lot, and as you will see with this program, we'll talk about certain things that I do, but I'm not in it, But anyways. Going back to, I think that all this affected me watching the film. Of course, I was really into it. Like I said, I saw what his personality was like. And when I met him, he was very kind and gentle and really very soft-spoken. And that part of his personality is in the film, and that what I've had experience with him, just meeting him as a customer. And I saw that in the film. He suited the character he was playing, and I really was drawn to the character. And of course the character did some wonderful things. And I really recommend the film. I can understand, because of what it portrays and what it's showing in terms of politics and tensions around the world, that it reflects our time as well, and the times that we are facing now and we're still facing for so many years. And the world is in a standstill in some areas, and Argo kind of is a ripple in the ocean. You know, it keeps repeating the same pattern, and you could see that after watching the movie, that we're still facing a lot of stuff. We've still got a lot to learn. So it's a wonderful film, and it's very timely, even though it's of a different time. It's of our time.
Bring them down with fist and skin. Show compassion, don't defeat. Show compassion, don't retreat. Politicians rule by fear.